The top headline at this hour, at least, is the government sources where reports are saying that the government may redraw the fiscal consolidation roadmap in FY21. And you have the sources also saying the government needs more fiscal space in FY21 for the infra push. They see higher capital spend in FY21 for the 100 lakh crore rupees infra plan that the government has. And to talk more on that, we're joined by consulting editor Maithili Busnurmad. Good morning, Maithili. Government sources are saying that the government will need to redraw the fiscal consolidation roadmap in FY21. What do you make of this? Was this already on cards?
Well, frankly, this should have been done much earlier. There was always a case for fiscal easing right from the time when the first NDA government took over itself in 2014. It was very evident that the economy was going through a slowdown. And even though there was a case for fiscal consolidation, the consolidation should have been much slower. Instead of which, unfortunately, Mr. Jaitley continued with the fiscal tightening, driven by these very rigid rules without taking into consideration the actual reality on the ground. So this is something that was long overdue. Will it be better late than never? It remains to be seen, because unfortunately, both in fiscal and in monetary policy, timing is of essence. So once the economy has slowed down to the extent that it has, remember now growth has slowed down from 8.1% in the fourth quarter of 2017-18 to just 4.5% in the second quarter of 2019-20. So whatever fiscal spending the government does, and it must do it now, because remember, the fact is that the GDP, your denominator, is anyway going to be lower. So for your fiscal deficit number, even assuming that the same absolute numbers are retained, the percentage will be higher. So if at this time you balk and do not go in for more fiscal easing and more aggressive fiscal easing, things will really be in a very sorry state for the Indian economy. Unfortunately, this will take time to deliver on the ground. Remember also that during the time of the great financial crisis, if the US government had shown half as much hesitation as the Indian government, then the US would still be struggling with a recession and a growth slowdown, instead of which the US economy did subsequently recover. So there is a time when governments must please take courage in their hands and go ahead. So I hope that the government will do it now and it will not prove too late.
Then, Maithili, we are also joined by Aditi Nayar, senior economist at ICRA. Aditi, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the show. We're picking up from government sources, and this is all as per news agency reports, which is saying that the government may redraw the fiscal consolidation roadmap for FY21. And they are also may push back the 3% fiscal deficit target by about 2 years. What do you make of this news? Do you think that the government is too late in doing this?
Thank you. Good morning. Well, I can't really say that this is surprising. We've pushed back the achievement of the 3% fiscal deficit target several times already in the last decade or so. So, given the current circumstances and the extent of the growth slowdown, I don't think that this is surprising at all. Whether the government decides to go in for an expenditure push or tax cuts, either way the fiscal deficit is going to go up. And as Maithili was just pointing out, the denominator, which is the nominal GDP, is going to be on the lower side, both because of slow growth and moderate inflation. So there is a real risk that in any case the fiscal deficit is going to be higher than the level that was projected in the budget in FY20. As far as FY21 is concerned, there are a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. One, the transfers from the RBI are likely to be significantly smaller than what they were this year, because we have got extra transfers from the RBI after the Bimel Committee report. And that is something that is not going to be available in FY21 or FY22. And also the moratorium which has been given to telecom companies for 2 years is going to result in lower revenues coming in from that sector. So these are anyways a couple of specific factors that would have put pressure on the fiscal situation next year. And added to that, any subsequent measures that the government takes to support the economy, it was going to be quite difficult to really go in for additional fiscal consolidation in FY21.
All right then. Thank you, Aditi, as well as Maithili, for joining us, giving us your first take on the news that we are picking up from news agencies. Reports are suggesting that the government sources are saying that the government may redraw the fiscal consolidation roadmap and also may push the 3% fiscal deficit target by about 2 years.